welcome everybody. This is our first meeting of 2026. Um, Before we get started, I am going to share my screen and we will do the Pledge of Allegiance. So let me pull that up. Jim, would you mind leading us in the Pledge of Allegiance this morning?
All right, everybody, hand over your heart and ready, begin. I pledge allegiance
To
to the flag
Of
of the
the
United States of America
and to the
the public,
and to the republic for which it stands, one
one
nation, under God,
indivisible
indivisible,
with
with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
amen.
All right. Thank you, Jim. All right. Well, so we're gonna follow our normal business and breakfast format for today. So if you have any community announcements, now's the time to share those.
Um, I don't.
Okay, cool. Going once, going twice. All right. Now it's 30-second commercials. So Nadia, do you want to give us your 30-second?
Sure. I'm Nadia Clemens with the American Cancer Society. Um, I've been volunteering for probably 16 years now. Um, I try to get people to help donate to reach my goal and try to raise money to fight cancer.
Excellent. Thank you, Nadia. Jim.
Jim Gallagher, representing a Chinese American Association of Chino Hills. Our goal, of course, is to reach out and bridge the gap between the existing Asian business community and also our traditional business community. And so we do have an event coming up. I was just trying to look it up. We have a Lunar New Year celebration coming up. It'll be at the shops, and I will post in the chat screen the flyer if you're interested in signing up and putting a booth in. So thank you.
Thank you, Jim. Gary.
Good morning. First time here, kind of new member to the Chino Chamber of Commerce, but longtime participant in chamber activities. I'm a former president of the Rancho Cucamonga Chamber of Commerce, representing Plains of Fame in my retirement. I'm a museum guide. Mission of the Plains of Fame Air Museum is to preserve aviation history, inspire an interest in aviation, educate the public, and of course, honor our aviation pioneers and veterans.
Excellent. Thank you, Gary. And Rosie and Becca.
Hi. So we're Rosie and Becca Miller. We run a home care agency called Ace Home Care Inc. We provide caregivers for private duty, which means we provide caregivers for in the home for anyone who has need, whether it's from surgery, just elderly care, or any kind of illnesses. We also help with specific diseases like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's, and we have a range of duties that we can help assist with. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you, Rosie. Razel.
Good morning, everyone. Rachel Arcega, LNR Promotions. I help businesses with their branding, promotional products, events. So I'm looking for businesses that are preparing for events this time. It's the expo season or any events I could help you with. I'm also part of the chamber as one of the ambassadors.
Excellent. Thank you, Razel.
Mm-hmm.
So with that, so we have our 30-second commercials. We got that tackled for the day. If people kind of hop in, I'll give them a chance to kind of introduce themselves. But today, what we wanted to go over was, and I shared this at a couple of our last business breakfasts. It was just talking about how we're going to kind of change the format for 2026. Our board of directors at our last board meeting, so we meet annually. So at our board retreat last year, we talked about trying to offer better entrepreneurial offerings for the 2026 year. So we've been working towards that for the past year. And that's what I wanted to share with you all today. So the goal for me today is to kind of share with you what we're planning on doing for the future. I also want some opportunities for some engagement and some feedback. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share a couple of things. First, let me pull up our website real quick because that's what I'm going to be using mostly to walk through our events for today. But before I do that, I have a link that I want to share with all of you. Many of you probably have already answered this, so if you feel like you've done it already, um, whether it be with Nancy. So Nancy is an intern that's been working with us at the chamber. She's been making phone calls to all of our membership just to check in on one of our strategic plan priorities was to reach out to all of our members and have them do a survey so that we can get feedback on how to better serve you all as businesses. So we wanted to do what we call a needs assessment. So that survey that we had her send out and that I've just put in the chat right now is to give us feedback about how we can better support you all and your businesses. So if you haven't done that yet, I'd encourage you to fill it out. I sent that out via email last week, I want to say. And then, like I said, Nancy's been making phone calls for the last 2 or 3 months. We have our board retreat. So the Chino Valley Chamber of Commerce, we have a board of directors. We currently have 15 board of directors. Those folks are going to be on we're doing that board retreat on January 16th. So they help us make strategic decisions to help support the chamber. I know Gary is very familiar with that. Jim was on our board of directors in the past. They help guide us, and they're kind of representatives of all of you in terms of providing the advice to me and our staff on how to do a better job running the Chino Valley Chamber. So that's one of the things that your feedback on that I will be sharing at our board retreat, and I will try to share that with you guys as members as we go through that. So I think that would be super helpful for you all to fill out. So I wanted to highlight that first and foremost. And then let me go back to sharing my screen here. So if you get a chance, please fill that out. And then we have Joe coming in. So I'll give Joe a chance to introduce himself. Hey, Joe, are you ready to give your 30-second commercial?
Sure, I guess. If I'm up, I'll go.
You're up.
Well, good morning, everybody. I don't even know who all is in here, but I want to wish you all Happy New Year. And even though I haven't been to the chamber much, I'm excited about still being part of it. I'm Causewell Insurance Services, specializing in homeowners and business insurance, and be still happy to help anybody that needs help in it. Thanks.
Excellent. So yeah, so my advice in there is in the chat. I put in that link to our survey. So my request of you all is to fill that out. Next, I wanted to go over kind of what we did last year in our strategic planning session. So we met as a board retreat last year in probably December. And so we kind of set this strategic plan priorities in place. So we had like this retreat where we brainstormed about what are some things that we could do as a chamber to better serve you all. And we came up with some ideas and stuff. And over the next 6 months, we kind of fostered those. And so in June or July is when we kind of affirm our strategic plan for the year. And that's the stuff that we're working on and trying to help better support businesses. So I want to highlight a couple of the things that we were focusing on that we've started in July and that we're moving towards, which kind of leads into our remodeling of the business at breakfast was number one, we wanted to do that needs assessment. So we wanted to get your feedback and make sure we got as many businesses that were members of the chamber to give us that feedback. So we've sent out several emails on it. We've also had Nancy, who's an intern with the chamber, making phone calls on a regular basis. Or she's calling every single member in our roster to try to do that survey via phone. So we're reaching out by email and we're reaching out by phone to get your feedback on how we can do better. We're also when we have those phone calls, we're also giving advice to our members about ways that they can engage and interact better over the year. Another thing we wanted to focus on was as many of you know, that upskill Chino Valley program that we put in place We got some funding about 2.5 years ago. It was $1 million to help us execute this upscale Chino Valley plan. And when we pitched this plan to our legislators, the plan was we wanted to focus on four things. We wanted to focus on leadership development, economic development, entrepreneurship development, and workforce development. So that funding is the limit on the funding was for 3 years. So over 3 years, we've worked really hard to try to implement lots of programming in that space. So that's something that we've done a really good job at doing. The one thing that we thought we could improve upon for this year was just do a better job at telling the story of all of those businesses that we've helped through that process. So we have in each one of those, there's tons of success stories. Each one of the staff members that we have here at the chamber has helped support businesses in a bunch of different ways. And so we wanted to do a better job at storytelling. So one of the ways that we're doing that in a couple of different ways. One of those is we do this virtual business beat where we'll be recording something monthly, and it will take this month-long plan of creating content from those business beats. So we're going to come up with a theme for the month. It might be like AI, for example. I think our first month was we wanted to focus on like member benefits. So in November, we did a whole series on member benefits. In December, we did one on resiliency, like how to make sure that your business is resilient during tough times. And then in January, we haven't decided that just yet, but we're going to be doing something in January with a theme on that front. So, the themes will be covered kind of on a monthly basis, and then we're going to be sharing content about those themes throughout the month via our social media and email channels. Another thing we wanted to do was do some member storytelling. So we're trying to capture testimonials from our members. When we do these business at breakfasts, we have great kudos that happens. So we get these good kudos with people saying great things of doing business with one another. So that's something that we want to try to capture and share digitally as well. So share that when we do those business beats, share that via social media, share that via email. And then all of the stuff that we're doing with that Upskill Chino Valley program, we want to highlight those efforts too. So I guess what we're trying to say is we want to do a better job at telling the stories of the people that we've helped through these programs, because we've done lots of work to do some really good things. But I think sometimes we're so busy executing that we don't necessarily share what we're doing. So our board thought that was important for us to do for this year. The next is we do have a membership growth goal. You know, one of the things, if you guys know, I'm very involved in the National Chamber of Commerce. So we're involved in the U.S. Chamber. I'm involved with WACE, so I'm on their board of directors, which is the western half of the United States. And then there's another association called ACCE, where we were finalists for Chamber of the Year last year. So those are all programs and engagement and stuff. And one of the things that is happening for membership organizations across the country is they are seeing lots of declines in membership for things like this for a variety of different reasons. Mostly due to the digital age and the digital environment of things. So that's something to consider. But our board of directors thought it was important to see us grow in membership this year. So one of the focuses we do have the goal of growing 15 members a month over the next year. So we're working on that to try to do that. So we're doing that in a variety of ways. One, we're having our board of directors get involved in that activity. We're having our ambassadors getting involved in that activity. We had Nancy, who I mentioned, who's our intern, who's been making phone calls to try to get people involved and engaged and recruit members through. We get new business listings through the city of Chino and the city of Chino Hills. So they're making phone calls and connecting with us. So those are some opportunities there. So that's another strategic plan priority for our board of directors. And then the last one is expanding our entrepreneurship and workforce programming. So that's one of the things. Another thing that many of you probably are aware of, but might not know of. When we pitched that Upskill Chino Valley program, this was like 4 years ago. We reached out to a lot of our legislators, and we reached out to every legislator that was available in our community just to tell them what we thought was going to impact our community the most. And those were those four things that I mentioned earlier. So one of the people we reached out to was Norma Torres's office. And so we were working with them. They were very excited about trying to support our upscale Chino Valley, but just because of the circumstances of how our foundation or how our organization is set up, and then working through this process. So over 2 or 3 years, we've worked back and forth trying to partner on a project together. So maybe 2 years ago now, we were approved. So Norma Torres did approve a project for us, and it was to help us build an entrepreneurship center in the Chino Valley. So we were approved for $2 million of funds through our office. It's been going through the process that it goes through, so it hasn't been approved yet. But because of that, we want to do a really good job at setting a strong foundation for entrepreneurship for the chamber. So we've been working on trying to create that entrepreneurial programming. So that's something that we've been working on here at the chamber, is making sure that we have some entrepreneurship programming, that we have this vested program in place so that people have a lot more variety and opportunities to engage in this entrepreneurship program. So we've been doing that through Business at Breakfast. One of the feedback that we get often from our members is, I would love to attend, but I just can't make it on Wednesday mornings at 7:45. So what we wanted to do was provide some, and one of the other challenges is, as a Chamber of Commerce, we also did about 193 events last year. So we do a lot. We have, and one of the things I'm trying to schedule our events for next year. So we do have a schedule of upcoming events that I will be sharing with you shortly. And that's some things that we have planned. So when we have that amount of plans, one of the other strategic priorities is, let's work on trying to consolidate and make these more impactful. So that's another thing that we're going to be working on, is providing variety in times so that different people can make it because of their schedules from our business community. We're going to do more. So we're going to have more entrepreneurial programming, and we're going to tie it to some of the stuff that we're already working on so that we are creating more impactful programs. So that was also a strategic priority from our board of directors. I'm going to pause here for a minute. We've had 2 people that have joined us, and I want to give them the opportunity to give them their 30-second commercials. So Jim, would you mind giving us your 30-second commercial this morning?
Oh, thank you. Apologize for being late. I just didn't leave the house in time. No,
That's good.
no excuses. Some of you don't know me, I guess. I'm looking at the screen. My name is Jim Maloney from Transamerica Financial Advisors. What I do is I help people save money, get out of debt, retire early, help their kids get to college, and teach them how to be financially independent. I'm in actually this year will be my 26th year at Transamerica. I love what I do. I have over 350 personal clients. The company has over 60,000. And basically, I'm right here in Chino, near the Chino Hills Ford dealership, if you know where that is. I'm right next door in the big white building, and I'd love to network with some people. So thanks a lot, Zeb.
You're welcome. And then Nicole.
Hi, I'm Nicole. I'm with the Chamber. I work with the youth programming and the Chamber operations. And we have a career day coming up on Monday. If anyone wants to participate, reach out to me.
Yes, and we will be covering that in the very near future. So I will make sure that I cover that in our upcoming opportunities and events. So let's start with this. The next thing that I wanted to highlight was, there are tons of opportunities to get involved in the chamber. And one of the things that we've been working on here internally is, we have 2 things that we've created this doc. So when a new member comes on board, first off, I have a phone call with them. So every member that joins, I schedule a phone call with them. I onboard them, make sure they get an understanding of what to expect from their chamber membership, make sure I get an understanding of their business, make sure I give them opportunities on ways to plug in. So one of the ways that we've created, and we created this document recently, we call it our membership action plan. So it just walks through how to best take advantage of your membership. So there's like a 10-step process for you to review and just take a look at things. If you follow those 10 steps, it's one of the complaints people says is, well, I can't make these events, or I don't have time to attend meetings or events. We have 400 members, and probably 50 to 100 of them attend things. 300 don't. So we do lots of things to support our businesses outside of just the the meeting and stuff that we host. So I try to my best to articulate the best way that our members can take action without necessarily showing up, but still leverage their membership to get the most bang for the buck. And what I tell people when I do those onboarding calls is you take advantage of any of one of those things, and it's more value than what you're paying in your membership. So if anybody's interested in receiving that membership action plan, just put it in the chat and I'll make sure that you get that. Or you can always email me and I'll make sure I send that to you so you can make sure you're taking advantage of your chamber membership in all the ways that we offer. So that's one thing that we've been doing. The other thing is we have lots of we have lots of committees, and these committees are designed to help build a stronger local business community. So there's a variety of different ways that people can engage in those. And so many of you probably seen the emails that we sent out recently about joining our Taste of Chino Valley committee. I mean, sorry, not our taste. I always say that. Our Salute to Public Safety.
Yeah.
So our Salute to Public Safety is an event that we host to honor our police, fire, and the people that work at the prison, are the CIM and CIW. So we do this event. We have a volunteer committee of business owners that help make that as successful as possible. We like to get your feedback and engagement, but one, there's a variety to engage. So if you're interested in kind of get engaged and giving back, that's an opportunity to do it. But it's also a great way to develop relationships with people who are in that space. So like as an example on our committee, we have the PIO from Chino PD, we have the PIO from Chino Valley Fire, we have some of the leadership team from CIM and CIW that are helping plan that as well. So it's just a great way to meet people that are in that space. And each event kind of offers something a little bit different. So that Salute to Public Safety is our first major event. We are finalizing the details of that next month. The date looks like it's going to be on March 12th, but we should have an answer and that should be posted next week. The other major events that I wanted to say, encourage you all to get involved and engaged in if you're interested is we have our State of the City for Chino and Chino Hills. We have our Business Awards dinner. We have our Women's Conference. We have our Business Expo. One of the things that we are, like I mentioned, consolidating events. So we've done the Taste of Chino Valley for probably 25 years. That event is a lot of effort and energy to put on, and it doesn't, how would I describe it? It's not, for the amount of time and effort that goes into it, it's just not a good, smart business decision to work on that together. So what we're planning on doing is we're planning on kind of consolidating that event with our Business Expo. So this last year, if you went to our Business Expo, we had lots of food available, food offerings and stuff like that. So inviting food trucks and food organizations to present their food. There is a charge to those things, but it's free to attend the Business Expo. So that's what we're looking to do. So we're going to move that taste and it'll be combined with our Business Expo and it'll be in October. So that's something we're looking to consolidate for this year. We have our Kids Entrepreneurship Fair, our pitch competition. We're doing this Inland Empire Supplier Diversity event. So teaching businesses about different opportunities to work with the utilities agencies. There's tons of RFPs and contracts that our utilities agencies go through, and we want to make sure our businesses have the opportunity to apply for those. Energize SoCal, we're doing an event for the energy space, so we have some funding for some businesses that are interested in funding those, so we're putting an event on around that. We have this Innovate and Inspire thing that has been our third year into it. We invite kind of high performing CEOs and Inland Empire entrepreneurs to share their story in a panel discussion at Topgolf, and then we, experience Topgolf afterwards. So that's something we plan on doing again this year. We do an economic forecast. We usually have Dr. Chris Thornburg share about what's going to be happening in the region, but also what's going to be happening across the state and across the country. So you can be better prepared for this upcoming year. So we're planning that to happen again this year. And then we do our annual holiday luncheon, which we just wrapped up in December of last year. So those are kind of our planned major events. So you can see that we're doing a lot of those major events. So what I want to encourage you all to do, for those that make sense for you, make sure you attend. You have the ability to sponsor those events. You have the ability to volunteer on those committees to help us plan and make sure that those events are successful. And that's also a great opportunity to get connected with people who are engaged in those spaces. Serve on a planning committee, uh, and bring a guest. So one of the other things that I think our membership sometimes could benefit from is a lot of times you're making these important business connections, just in your day to day working as a business. I don't think there's a better way to develop and enhance those relationships than inviting them to come to attend a chamber event where you're proactively participating in that offering and then engaging and interacting with people that you want to do business with and being the one that's being like the steward of that and like being the one that's getting people involved and engaged to come to those things and then using that as an opportunity to interact and engage with potential clients and business partners and power partners or referral partners or whatever you want to call them. So I think that that's something that I would encourage all of you to look into when you look at these events. And in some cases, for our larger businesses, sometimes it's a good team building opportunity too. Like our holiday luncheon, for example, it's just a great way to get your team together instead of trying to plan a retreat somewhere or doing something offsite. Choose a chamber event, bring them to a chamber event and use that as an opportunity to engage with other people. And most of these are fun. Like the one at Topgolf could be a good example where you're bringing them to get inspired by local business leaders and entrepreneurs and then playing a little Topgolf afterwards. So those are some things to consider for all of you. I also wanted to talk about some of the core programs that we have for this year. So Nicole mentioned at the beginning that one of the events that we have coming up on Monday is our career day. So we've partnered with some local school districts. We also partner with Chaffey College. So we called this program that we put together, and actually this was a program that was one of the reasons why we're finalists for Chamber of the Year last year, was our CVCC Future Ready program. So this Future Ready program is basically anything that connects youth with local business. So in the case of this career day, we are getting businesses together. We're giving them the opportunity to share their story with junior high school students. And this is a great thing for businesses and it's a great thing for students. So we're trying to develop those relationships and partnerships. So that program, what it consists of mostly, so career days is one example. Being available to give tour sites to local students, being able to give internships, being able to do job shadowing, being able to do mentoring. We have the kids entrepreneurship fair. We have the pitch competition. We have apprenticeship programs. We work with Chaffey College to give their students opportunities mostly to work in the medical space. So we're giving them internships. We're connecting them with local businesses that need interns or that need some support and also to recruit talent so they get a chance to experience these interns to see if they would be a good fit for working in the healthcare industry. If you know anything about healthcare, they're always struggling to find good quality talent too. So we're helping our businesses by helping fulfill that pipeline of local business of students coming together. And then we're connecting the students of Chaffey College, of Ontario Montclair School District, of our local community students. We work with a lot of private schools here locally too, a lot of charter schools to help do career day type stuff as well. So I know we have some planned programming for 2026 to work on that stuff. So if you have any interest in getting involved in that CVCC Future Ready program, those are things you can let me know about too. We do our workforce development work. So over the last, I mentioned that Upskill Chino Valley program. One of the things that I and that our board felt was important was that we want to build a really strong ecosystem of our business community. So when I joined the chamber, a lot of the people that were participating were predominantly smaller businesses, but there's a lot of opportunities to work with larger business, but there wasn't a lot of opportunities to connect with larger businesses. So it was important for our board to identify ways that we can engage some of our larger employers and how they can get more connected and involved in the chamber so that our smaller businesses could build those relationships and connections and grow their network and create opportunities from that. So we wanted to create this really strong ecosystem supporting all types of businesses for all sizes so that way there is this interconnectivity between our small and large businesses. And I feel like over the years we've been able to do that. And one of the best ways we've been able to do that is with our workforce development programs. So these workforce development programs run by Renee, who's our vice president. We help connect job seekers to local businesses that are in need of hiring. And there are a lot of struggles. If you know anything about workforce challenges, every community across the country, because I've been taking these courses to the U.S. Chamber, is struggling with workforce issues. And so if we can be a better job, if we as a community can do a better job of making sure that our larger businesses have strong access to workforce talent, that our community is going to be much better for it. So that's one of the things we've been working on behalf of you guys as our membership is making sure that we're creating those opportunities. So we've done that. I think over the last 3 to 4 years since we brought Renee on board, we've probably helped more than 600 people get employment with local businesses. And when you look at the economic impact of that and the value that I think the chamber brings to our community is if you quantify that, most of these jobs are 50, 60,000 a year plus. If you do the math on that, that's kind of a substantial return on investment. And we're doing phenomenal things to help kind of grow this business community and help support our businesses in a much stronger way than what we were before. I want to take a pause here for a second. And like I said, I was going to try to call out people as they came into the room just to give them the opportunity to introduce themselves. So April, you joined us. Do you have a second to give us a 30-second pitch about you and what brings you here today?
Yes, absolutely. So I'm excited to be here. I actually met Renee at the recent job fair that was held in Chino last month. And I am a new business owner. It is Higher Ground Communication and Training. So I bring in communication training. I support leadership. I have security expertise with the DoD, so I help with compliance. And the other thing I do is AI-enabled training to support workforce development. So, and I'm also adjunct at Chafee. So I am excited to be here and hear about these opportunities that you're speaking about.
Awesome. Well, you came in at the right time because that's exactly what we're covering right now. So perfect. Thank you. Nice to meet you, April.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, good. So that kind of wraps up our discussion on the workforce development related front. Obviously, there's lots of other things that we're doing on that front, but that's just kind of tip of the iceberg. So that's something that we are very proud of here at the Chamber. Oh, another thing that I forgot to mention on the workforce development front is we're also looking, there is a lot of like funding opportunities, I guess, to help support local businesses. So there's two that there's three, just to make you aware of. One, we got this, it's called the Hire Grant. It's helping justice involved folks find employment, giving them a second chance opportunity. There is funding set aside for businesses that are willing to bring those folks on board in their business. So that's something where if they're able to do that, there's funding set aside where we can, I think, pay their wages for about 6 weeks, or half of their wages for 6 weeks while they onboard those folks. So we've been doing that. I think we've got over 60 people employed through that program. We did a check presentation ceremony about a month ago where we gave out like $60,000 to one of our businesses because they hired like 30 people that were justice involved. And then we gave a check for like 30,000, I think was the other one, for businesses that hired a little bit less than that, but they worked for the 50% and they got the 50% reimbursement. So it really helps businesses to offset those onboarding costs and to offset, bringing people on board. San Bernardino County Workforce Development has a very similar program, and this kind of goes for anybody. If you're looking to onboard anybody in your business and you're hiring somebody, the county has a program that'll pay half of their wages for the first how long is it? It's the first 6 weeks, I think. So that program, you could reach out to us. We'll get you connected with that. And that's part of what the chamber does too, is bring you potential opportunities. And then the last one is the ETP funds that we've helped secure for local businesses. So I actually went to Sacramento maybe like 2 weeks ago because we had to readjust how the funding was set up. So I had to go do a hearing but we received more than $500,000 of funds that we just distribute back to businesses for training purposes. So if you're looking to upskill your staff or your team, there's funding set aside to do that the chamber secured. It's usually for larger businesses because there's a lot of paperwork involved. And so you really want to have somebody that's dedicated towards that paperwork. So it's usually 30, if they have 30 employees or more, But we did help give out that full $500,000 of funds to businesses over the last 2 years. And then that cycle replenishes again every 2 years. So we did give $500,000 to local businesses to help upskill their staff and make sure they're more trained, and then therefore get better wages too. The next thing that I'll move on to is our leadership program. So our leadership collaborative program, that's something that started, I was very interested in leadership. I think the reason why I joined the chamber was because, this is back in 2010, was because I wanted to build stronger relationships. I wanted to get mentorship. I wanted to learn about entrepreneurship from people who had been doing it here in the community and had a chance to connect with local business leaders and entrepreneurs so I could learn how to be a better business owner. And that's what I set out to do. And one of the things that I've gone through is a bunch of different leadership programs, regionally and statewide. So I went through one was the Inland Empire Economic Partnership. I went through one through the LA Chamber of Commerce, which covered all of Southern California. And then I went one through the Corona Chamber of Commerce. And all of that was to try to help bring something like that to our community because we don't really have anything like that here in Chino and Chino Hills. So we've been doing that for the last 4 years. This is our fourth year. I think we're our next week we have our third meeting of our fourth cohort. So that's something new that we've brought over the last 3 or 4 years that I personally am super excited about. We've gotten great feedback from it. We have 30 participants going through it this year, and it's something that that I'm very proud that we've put together. So Julia runs and organizes that leadership collaborative program, and it's been an overwhelming success. So there's ways to get involved in that, to be a participant of our leadership collaborative program. The next thing I'll highlight is one of the other things that we were working on. So in that Upskill Chino Valley, we talked about supporting entrepreneurs. And one of the things that I had floated for a while was this Innovation Council. And I was doing that in collaboration with our past board chair, Christina Gagne. We thought that Irvine had this innovation council, and Irvine in Orange County is kind of known for being an innovation hub. LA has some sectors of innovation, and the way that everything is kind of moving to the Inland Empire from an economic standpoint. So there's lots of growth opportunities that will be happening here in the region. And one of those opportunities we feel like is innovation and being an innovation type hub, because we have a lot of these businesses where the logistics in particular is there's a station here. So we're kind of primed to bring in and attract a lot of local businesses. And if we're innovative in that way, we'll be able to attract more resources and funding and support for our business community. So that Innovation Council, we've kind of had it slowly working, but it's like in full force this year. So that's something we're going to be doing. We've already got some events on the calendar for our Innovation Council. We did one in November, was our very first Innovation Council event, which was a mixer, which was sold out. We had 50 people show up at Casa Diaz. And then our next event is going to be happening in 2 weeks. Mitch Morris, who is on our board of directors, he's a professor at Cal State San Bernardino. He's a very successful entrepreneur, has a couple of different exits from local businesses, and he's going to be talking about how to build a scalable business in 2 weeks. So that's something that'll be on the calendar, and you can take a look there, and I'll show that with you later. So if you want to get involved in that Innovation Council, you have a vested interest in innovation, that might be something worth checking out too. We also have these economic development roundtables that we've been doing. So as part of that Upskill Chino Valley program, we've had these economic development roundtables. And these roundtables are bringing in multiple businesses together, whether it be in a sector, whether it be a collaboration of different sectors coming together to discuss challenges, issues, and then as a chamber, we work on identifying action items to better help support those businesses. So that's something we're working on doing too, is we have the ability to partner on those. And then we have our legislative advocacy programs. So one of the other things that we do is we advocate in Sacramento, we advocate in the U.S., we advocate in Washington, D.C., we advocate with our local legislators, just making sure that we're passing good pro-business legislation. So we have some initiatives that we'll be highlighting this year. One of them is called BACA, I think. So it's about how to make California more affordable. So we want to do a lot of legislative policies and decisions to help make California more affordable. So those are some of the things, and those are all those things I just mentioned. There's opportunities to engage in those as a volunteer. So if you have a vested interest in any of those opportunities, that would be something that I'd encourage you to reach out to me to let me know if you'd be interested in engaging. While I do that, the other thing that I want to show you, like all of this stuff that we've been doing is we've been trying to capture that and put it on our website. So I did want to run through our website because I want to start encouraging our members to go there more, especially when it comes to our events, because that's going to give you a good list of kind of what's upcoming. So this is our homepage. We're always going to have some kind of banner image here of our upcoming major events. And so if you have an opportunity to register and sign up, these will be the things that are the most like our featured events, if you will. So we do have a business mixer that is coming up at Chino Commercial Bank. It's always usually a very popular one. It's always usually sold out. They do a raffle. They also do like, they have beer and wine behind the counter. And so it's kind of a cool mixer experience if you haven't been yet. They also give away a TV at the end for the things. So that's kind of, and they have food. So all of that stuff will be there for you. So music, food tasting, prizes. So those are things you want to attend. And then on our homepage, you'll see that these are featured chamber events, that these are new members that are coming to join the chamber. And you'll see like, I did just see the Plains of Fame on here. So for our Plains of Fame, that's what you see on the website when you sign up, Gary. And then we have our chamber events, which will have the scrolling screen right here. We try to capture some of the most important things that I've kind of just laid out for you on our homepage as well. We have our mission, vision, core values, and then we also want to highlight our Chairman's Circle sponsors. So we have several different spots on our website that do that. When we upload our newer videos, we're going to make sure those videos get posted here. So when we have new videos that get posted to the Chamber website, we'll make sure the most pressing things are there. And then on our about section, if there's any, like this kind of contains anything and everything you would need to know to get engaged and involved with the chamber. We have our bylaws here. So these are the rules that run our organization. If you're not familiar, we have some information about our Upskill Chino Valley program. There's some information about our ambassadors. We have a foundation that we set up recently too. So that's going to get rocking and rolling here this next year. We're working, through the leadership program that we do a community good project every year. So the community goods project runs through the foundation. We're also have some opportunities to use that foundation to support leadership in the region. So we're going to be working towards that. We have our list of board of directors here. So if you want to see who our board was, so you can give them your feedback about how the chamber might be able to do better, you can feel free to look through there. This is all the information on membership, like why become a member, our Chairman's Circle program. Chairman's Circle program is something I haven't chatted about yet, but it is something that we're recruiting for. So every January and every July, we try to recruit. That's like our window to bring in Chairman's Circle sponsors. So our Chairman's Circle sponsors, these are large level investors that help support the mission of the chamber. In return, they also get some perks of, sponsorship at events, sponsorship and attendance at different things. And then I'll work with you on a one-on-one to help make sure that package kind of aligns with you. So it's more so just a better way to stay intimately connected with the chamber, support our efforts, but then also, get better connected and branding to the chamber. So their logos and website, all of their logos, their names, who's participating is in that space. One of the things we're talking about doing that I hope to set up in the next month is we bought a new TV to put in the chamber building where we will just run through our Chairman's Circle spot. It'll be like a slideshow of our Chairman's Circle sponsors of recent videos that we've done. So if you ever do come to the chamber office, you'll just be kind of shared with that steady stream of stuff. And we're going to put our Chairman's Circle logos up on our wall here at the chamber. So there'll be some promotional digitally, our Chairman's Circle sponsors. Every email that goes out, if you look at the bottom of our emails from Constant Contact, it will list all of our Chairman's Circle sponsors, their names and their logos, and everything that we send out. So you'll be able to get some good brand recognition and logo recognition of that stuff. Our directory, this is another thing I want to point out to each of you. And another thing that we're working on is recently I sent out a list trying to create a vendor list so that we have all of our local vendors that provide different things in one place so that when we do business, we can reach that we can use that list to make sure that we're giving every business an opportunity to do business with the chamber when we have business needs ourselves. But then also, I'm working with some of our larger employers in the region, see if I could get them to use that list as well and give priority to chamber members. As chamber members, you guys are investing in your community. You're investing to make this a stronger, better business community. And our goal is to try to help get more opportunities for you with local businesses. So, as an example, I talked to Inland Empire Utilities Agency. They do tons of contracts and funding and all of this stuff through the work that they do. But oftentimes, they're hiring businesses that are out of the region. And it would make more sense for us, and it would be a better opportunity for our businesses to be able to provide those services to IEUA. And if you're a chamber member as part of that, then you get priority treatment in terms of winning those contracts, just like it would be, you would get priority treatment in terms of working with the chamber. So we were creating that vendor list to make sure that's an opportunity. But in addition to that, so like as an example, I'm going to type in venue just to see what shows up here. So if you type in the word venue and you're looking for something here locally, these are the businesses that pop up. Now, this is based off of their profile information. So if you're a venue and you don't see your name here, you might want to consider making sure that you put that word in there or other things in your member profile. And you have the ability to upload your member profile. So this is what happens when you type in venue. So if somebody's looking for one, we have these different organizations that show up. And so what I will do is if somebody's asking me for something, I will type whatever that is in. I'll send them a link. So I'll just copy and paste this link here. And then I will send that out to our members and say, here's the ones that are there. I will also share the ones that I know that are venues. And we have that venue, our vendor list. So we've already done the vendor list. So we actually probably have about 40 vendors that we have on that list, Plains of Fame being one of them. So we have the opportunity to kind of refer that out. But this is what happens when people are doing it on their own and searching our website. If they reach out to me, I give them a little bit more context into, hey, here's the link to this stuff. But I also know that here are some other businesses that do it. And when we get that when we get that vendor list going the way that it's intended, I will make sure that those businesses get that member list and ask them to give high priority to chamber members. Another thing that I like to do, just so that you guys all know, if you're ever doing a lunch date, lunch meeting, a breakfast meeting, anything like that, I will type in restaurant. So I think I've got like 3 lunch meetings this week. So we go and we meet at chamber member restaurants. And the way that we do that is they say, hey, where do you want to go to lunch? And I will say, well, choose a chamber member restaurant. I'll copy and paste. I'll type in restaurant here. I'll copy and paste this link and I'll say, choose any one of these restaurants and I'll meet you for lunch there. So that way they get to choose the restaurant. We have a little bit of variety in where we go, and that's a place to do it there. These are the programs that we highlighted earlier, all those major ones that we just talked about. There's all ways to get involved. If you click on any of these, you can figure out the best way to get involved. They should have all the information to get involved and connected there. Our events page, this is a thing that I wanted to highlight because as I shared before, we're revamping how we're doing our entrepreneurial programming. So what was Business at Breakfast? We have a lot of events that will be scheduled at the normal Business at Breakfast time throughout the year, but it's going to be kind of sporadic. So it's not going to be like the first and third Wednesdays like it's been. And I'll share with you some of the events that we do have coming up. And there is also another thing I wanted to share was we are trying to elevate what those events are like. So as an example, Boys Republic has really great food. So we want to make sure, and they also have good AV equipment. So we've had a couple of events there. The challenge is that food is expensive when you're kind of doing it at capacity. So there's registration fees for some of these. Some of these events are going to be free. Some of them are going to be virtual. Some of them are going to be non-virtual. So when you look at that, you get a chance to see, it'll have all the information there about those events. So here's one that we just set up yesterday. And I'll show you what it looks like. So what I want to show you what I wanted to encourage to show you how to do. When we're looking at the events, all of the information for the event is going to be here. Now, I haven't booked the event yet. The plan is to do this at Boys Republic, but we have the pricing and fees are going to be set right down here, and you'll see those, and then you can register, and it will have the opportunities to register at a different pricing. In this case, of the one at Boys Republic, you're going to get breakfast. Jeff Baldessari was a past Inland Empire Entrepreneur of the Year award winner. He has his own firm educating local businesses on how to be better in their business. Uh, so he's going to give out his free book. He's written a book on how to, I think it's called The Answers Are in the Building. So he's going to give out a free copy of his book. You're going to get fed a really good meal at Boys Republic, and then you're going to have that opportunity. So those are things that we're looking with our upcoming programming too. And then for the member rates, it's usually going to be severely discounted from our non-member rates. So that's something else to consider. But I want you to, every time you look at the upcoming events, if you click on what those descriptions and events are, that'll help explain what we're doing on that day. We do have a blog, and we try to update that as regularly as possible about different things that are coming up. And then the last thing I'll highlight on our website is our advocacy and our policy efforts. So the Chino Valley Chamber has been named by Cal Chamber, I think the last 3 years or so, that we're advocate for small business, I think is what it is. So we participate in a lot of different things legislatively. So we work with Cal Chamber, we work with the Inland Empire Chamber Alliance, we work with the U.S. Chamber, and then we do things internally on our own to help make better decisions for businesses in the Chino Valley. So you can see all of the effort that we've taken in 2025, 2024, 2023, 2022, 2021, and 2020. So over the last 6 years, we've probably supported or opposed over 200 pieces of legislation that were going to impact businesses in a positive or negative way. Some of that we've moved the needle on. Some of that we didn't have, there was an opportunity for us to do that, but we've made a lot of successful change happen to make things a better business climate than what it is here in California and our region. We have our policy platform. So this is something that explains like everything that the chamber believes, what we want to try to advocate for in our advocacy efforts. And then last way, there's just tons of ways to get involved. So if you're interested in getting involved in our legislative advocacy in 2026, you just need to let me know and we'll get you on the calendar. We have a great schedule of events planned for our legislative advocacy efforts moving into 2026. So we have a trip to Sacramento planned. We're going to offer a trip to Washington, D.C., but that's going to depend on whether or not we get funded or not. So if anybody's interested in going to Washington, D.C. to meet with legislators there, that's something that we're going to put on the calendar and see if we get enough funding for. But we already have the Sacramento trip paid for and planned thanks to our sponsorship from Kaiser Permanente. And we have a couple of other things going up in the near future. And then if at the very top here, like our join now button is here, we have all of our social channels, which you can get up on the top there. That's where I want to encourage you all to go as we're going to be transitioning a little bit this year to offer more at different times. But to do that, it takes a lot of logistical effort. And the way that we're going to do that is through our events page. So I just encourage you to make sure you check that out. Let's see if I got anything else for you. Oh, the other thing that you're going to see is when we do these events is as we progress and put them together, once they're on here, the pricing is kind of finalized and scheduled and ready to go. So if you look at the business mixer at Chino Commercial Bank, click on this one. So this one will be free to attend for anybody and everybody. It is sponsored by Chino Commercial Bank and the Chino Valley Chamber in collaboration with each other. So it'll be free to attend. That's coming up on January 22nd. And then, like I said, I'm going to work with the plan that I have. Oh, let me show you the one thing I was going to show you, which is our. So we have like a full-fledged calendar event. Oh, We have a full-fledged calendar of events scheduled for 2026. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get everything in that calendar as soon as possible. And if you look at our calendar, this is what our event schedule looks like. We have 5 confirmed events already in January. We've got a couple that we will be scheduling in the near future. We have 3 confirmed in February. We have 3 more that we're working on trying to schedule. In March, we have 3 confirmed. We have a couple more that we're trying, actually like 4 more that we're trying to schedule in March. In April, it looks like we've got about 10 things planned. May goes on. So there's going to be lots of offerings that we're going to have and lots of ways to get engaged to the chamber. And as you see those will be posted and put up on our chamber website. So the next one is that Chino commercial bank mixer. Let me go through the next thing. Oh, and then the other thing is on in these agendas, we will have opportunities for business engagement. Like, you know how we're still going to do the 30-second commercials at some of these events. We're still going to do some breakout rooms at some of these events. We have the opportunity to give out plaques. We have lots of plaques here. So we want to do plaque presentations at these events. Some of them will include raffles and mixers, but all that information will be seen here in the description as soon as we get those things fleshed out. And we're going to create opportunities throughout the year to do those different things, and they'll all be highlighted here. Same thing with kudos and recognition. That's something else that will highlight that there'll be opportunities to do that at least on a monthly basis. We're gonna have better food. We're gonna have better venues. We're gonna have virtual offerings, so you can watch it live, but you can also watch it in the future as we post these to our YouTube channel or to some of our social media channels. And then we're going to post these to our social channels as well. So you'll have lots of different ways to get involved and engaged in whatever way makes sense for you in 2026, because everybody takes their content and info differently and likes to participate in different ways. So we're trying to create those opportunities for people. And then the last thing that I wanted to, so this is my ask of you. So here's the committees and leadership opportunities to the chamber that I'm not sure I addressed yet. We have an ambassador committee. We have an innovation council. We have a women's council. We have a young professionals group. We have legislative advocacy efforts. We have a board of directors that oversees the whole chamber. And then we have event specific committees. So my ask of you is this for 2026, find one way to engage in a way that you feel makes sense for you and your business through all those offerings we have in the chamber in 2026. So with that, I want to pause here now, and I want to give this opportunity I'm going to stop sharing. This is a time for us to kind of share with each other now. So one of the things that we did at Business at Breakfast was we would do like kudos, or actually, before I do that, let me open up for a couple of questions if anybody has any questions. Do any of you have questions about what we just went over for today and our plans for 2026? Jim.
Yeah, this is a quick one. You mentioned the CVCC Future Ready program for youth.
Yeah.
And then on the website, it says Future Pathways. Is
Yeah.
there a difference or is that the same thing?
It's the same thing.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Jim Maloney.
Thank you. That was a great presentation, a lot of information. I've been here 10 years and I didn't know half that stuff, so I appreciate you going through that. I wanted to ask, you were going through at the very beginning of the board members and what the outcomes were for the year. So I just wanted to know what is going to be kind of like the main focus this year? Is there something specific that maybe we would be able to help with as far as what is like the number, maybe 1 or 2 goal for the chamber this year?
Yeah, so we come up with our strategic plan. What we do is we present, there is 6 things on that list. So there's 6 main bullet points, right? I think there's a couple of them are more internal facing. So there's really 4 things, and those are the things that we highlighted at the beginning. So I would say the main thing for us is entrepreneurship programming. We want to make sure that we have a strong, robust opportunity for entrepreneurship development here, mostly because when we get that if that entrepreneurship center does come to fruition and the chamber is able to be the host of that, we envision it being in place where there's just a lot of entrepreneurial activity happening, a lot of programming happening in that building. And so we want to be able to, facilitate that programming in a successful way, build up a good lineup of speakers, build up a good network of entrepreneurs, build an ecosystem of things to help produce opportunities for business owners to create stronger relationships and connections. And so we want to kind of lead that. And by leading that, when we do have that space come in, we'll already have this kind of programming system in place that we can use to make sure that that space will be successful because it will be, in order to make a space like that sustainable, you got to create some good, strong programming for that, and create some. Uh, I think the plan is co-working spaces. It'll be there, some opportunities to collaborate with events and hosting event opportunities there and stuff like that. So that's
Well,
one.
yeah,
Yeah,
just real quick. So since I consider myself an entrepreneur,
yeah.
what about this is just kind of throwing something out there, but what about having some kind of group meeting discussion, maybe even a Zoom, just tailored for entrepreneurs, where some of the people that are in the chamber, like you said, that can't get to meetings and stuff, we could put something together for just focus strictly on, and not necessarily training entrepreneurs, but more of just networking with people that are kind of in the same place right now.
Yeah, so I think the way that we're facilitating that is through that Innovation Council, which we've been, so that's the thing I said that started in November. And we have been convening with people that fit that kind of criteria. Um, we have probably 20 or so people that are on that Innovation Council group so far. And so they're giving us guidance on like what are the programmings that we should host in these entrepreneurial events? What are the um, what should they look like? Because there is an interest to have varied programming. So a mixer was one example. Doing a panel discussion is one example. Doing like a TED Talk type thing is another example. So I'm working with all of those Innovation Council partners to try to create that programming and tie it into what we're doing in the chamber. So that's kind of how we're tackling that currently. Is that what you were implying?
Yeah, that sounds great. The reason I joined the chamber, and I'm sure it's the same for a lot of people, is just to network with people that we could maybe refer back and business back and forth with business, or just kind of to see, how we could help each other. So I was thinking of more kind of like a networking type event, but all those sound great, and I'm sure I'll be attending them. But I was just thinking of something where we could just have something just specifically for entrepreneurs, and we could invite people that aren't members, obviously.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's what I was thinking.
Okay. Great. And then to go on to answer the rest of your question about our priorities, we're just doing that needs assessment was one, so that we can discuss that at our board retreat next week. So we're finalizing that. Doing storytelling, making sure that we're capturing and selling the stories of our chamber members, and then growing our membership. Uh, then the goal that we set was 15 members a month. So actually, the first 3 months we were on target. So we had 44 new members join in that first quarter for us, which was July through July, August, September. And then October, November, December was a little bit slower than that, but we've had good growth so far this year. But we do need to create some new ways to try to drive that a little bit. So those were the four things. Any other questions? Yes, Razel.
You're muted.
Yes, thank you. Thanks, Deb, for giving us a comprehensive look at what we have for the chamber. I know it's always exciting to see all the events happening. I know I'm part of some of these events, but my question is, if somebody's wanting to sign up, are they going to go through the chamber website, emailing you, or you're sending the invitations to the people interested? How is that?
Yeah, for all the committees. So for all of those, we are, and it's going to be a lot at the beginning of the year because that's when we're going to, an opportunity to start fresh. But with each of our major events, we'll send it out when it's the appropriate time to get engaged and involved. So we'll send invites out via email. So you just have to be paying attention to your emails to look for that. And also on our social channels. But when I do have individual chats with people, like as I'm onboarding them as members, another thing is those committee participation is specific for chamber members. So we want to, that's a unique opportunity that we want to give to chamber members. So it'll go out through our membership portal. It'll go out through Constant Contact. So we'll send out a couple of different ways to get involved and engaged in those areas. So that's number one. So when those event specific ones, it's usually about 4 or 5 months before the event is when they'll send out that invite so we can get that committee stuff going. Um, when it comes to like our year-round programming, so like you're on the Women's Council, so that Women's Council thing, we work with the leadership of that Women's Council. So we have the ability to do a variety of different things in working with that. So I think in your group, it's kind of like more so we're identifying those members and sending out invites and participating. And then when we have those events, that's our opportunity to kind of ask those. But if you guys give the guidance and saying, hey, we want to see an email going out to our membership asking for women to join our Women's Council, that's certainly something we can do.
I know I'm also part of the corporate finance, so maybe this year we put that together earlier so that we can get participation from the members.
Can't hear you.
Yeah, it's really low, Varizo. We can't.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Can you hear me better?
Yes, much better.
Okay, so I'm saying that I'm also coordinating the corporate challenge with one of our ambassadors, Brian. I want to find out if we can add that to the website or somehow so that we can get awareness of that for
Yeah,
the year.
yeah,
And
absolutely.
we have an unofficial Facebook page that was, I guess, grandfathered from years ago from some of the ambassadors before. I feel like it's ambassador led. So if that's a platform that you want to still kind of use, I just post a lot of our activities, events, networking opportunities, and encourage other members to do so. They're not all members in that group, but then it's just a place that we can use for announcements as well.
Yeah, we will definitely put that website up for the corporate challenge. And then, yeah, I mean, feel free to use it as you've been using it, which is great for the social media side of things. Um, and yeah, if there's anything, so when it comes to the corporate challenge, maybe you and I just schedule a time one day and we'll crank out what we want that invite thing to look like. And then we can make sure that it looks the way that you like it. And then I'll get that out there. Does that sound good?
Sounds good. Thanks, Seb.
Great. Yeah, for sure. All right, well, let's move on to the kudos section of this. So this is a chance where if you would like to, you can give kudos to people you've done business with in the chamber, or maybe even last year. This is 2026. Is there anybody that you did business with in 2025 that you'd like to highlight and thank? Jim Maloney.
Yeah, I already thanked her yesterday, but I got a referral from Nadia, who's there on the Zoom, for a friend of hers, and I'm going to be meeting with her and hopefully help her with some financial planning that I do. So I just wanted to thank Nadia for that. And then during the meeting here in the last few minutes, April Rodriguez scheduled a one-to-one with me for tomorrow over at the shops. So just wanted to thank her for that.
Excellent.
Oh, and Gary actually responded to my text too about meeting with somebody from his company or his facility, and hopefully we'll be able to set something up with that.
Perfect. Glad to hear that's working out. Nadia, you had your hand raised.
Yes. I want to, one to Jim for excellent working with my friend. We did talk again, her and I, yesterday, and he did wonders for my life insurance. And so I knew he would be great for her. And then also Razel, she's always got everything I need for my personal business cards and everything. And we're looking into getting more business from Razel for our Making Strides event. We go to a lot of places and we really have no banners or nothing to show like I do that I've gotten from her. So we're working with Razel to try to get screening and stuff to show more.
Excellent. Thank you. Anybody else? Yeah, Razel.
Yes, just like to thank Jim, who's my financial advisor, always there when I ask him if I could grab some money or invest more. So thank you, Jim, for that. And also business from Nadia's business and also her association. That's always great. And also Rosie here, I've been working with them with their branding banners, and she does also a travel. So if you help with her traveling, she does have that side business of traveling.
Yeah, it's exciting news from that team as well. Becca got married about a month ago, so congratulations to Becca.
Yes, that's exciting too.
Jim Gallagher.
I just want to also, since it's already a new year, I just want to mention the holiday party. I thought was the food was outstanding. Kudos to Boys Republic and also to the planning team. I think to put together a fun event. I know we were kind of crammed and packed in there, and maybe gave us some ideas for even more space. But still, Boys Republic really comes through. I think that's a good partnership we have. Thank you.
Thank you, Jim. Yeah, food is always good there. Anybody else going once, going twice? All right, well, let me close things. We're going to come up with upcoming chamber events. We're going to do I wanted to go back to that survey link, so let me share my screen again.
I never see your screen when you share it. I don't know where it is. Oh, there it is.
All right, so let's go through here's a link. I'm going to copy and paste this link. I'm going to put this in the chat. If you haven't filled this out yet, please do.
Zeb, can I make a comment about that?
Sure.
I get some of your emails, but I'm with the American Cancer Society, and so I know that Julie and sometimes Janet get stuff, and she'll say, "Oh, I got this." I go, "I never got that." So can you just always somehow make sure that I get everything, and if they do, they do, but I need to know everything that comes from you, from the chamber.
Yeah, so you have to cue me out on what's missing because obviously we have lots of different communication channels, so I won't know. I wouldn't know unless you tell me what those things are. So if you can flag those for me, I can make sure I can identify where we're missing one.
Okay, I think Nicole also made sure that I was on there too on the front page, but like that one you just showed, I never saw that one. So
What one I just showed?
you showed something about month
Oh,
or
the
something
survey.
something on your screen, yeah.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, that survey went out a couple of times. It's supposed to go out today too, I think. So
Okay.
so you'll see it. So you'll see it today if you
All
haven't
right.
already. Okay. And then next, I want to highlight these are upcoming events. So this is January 7th. We have a ribbon cutting today. I
Yes.
believe it's at 1 o'clock. Let me double check here. Yeah, our event's at 1 o'clock. Ribbon cutting for the Coastal Kids Pediatric Care. So that's today. And this is a thing that Nicole was mentioning, Career Day at Ray Wiltsey Middle School. So if you have a chance in introducing students to those career day opportunities, it's free. So you just show up and attend. There's sponsorship opportunities, but then there's also so I think you can be a speaker or you can rent a booth. So that's something you want to check out when you do that. Nicole, remind me to chat about that, setting up the page. This is the one for Mitch Morris. Like I mentioned, a lot of our events are going to still be at that same ish time as business at breakfast. So if you've met Mitch, he's hosting this really elaborate workshop where he's going to give very tangible walkaways for growing your business. But as a result, there is going to be a pretty, in terms of what our normal chamber programming is, pricing fee there, but there will be a lot of good positive outcomes. He will be working with some of the things that he's implemented over the years. And like I said, Mitch has built some very successful businesses and is a successful entrepreneur, and he is on our board of directors. So I think this would be a really powerful thing to attend if you're able to make it. That is on January 21st. And all the details are here so you could identify like what you would be getting out of that workshop. And it'll be at tailored space in that training center room. We have the Chino Commercial Bank Mixer, which is on January 22nd. That one is free to attend. And then this one with Jeff Baldessari, it'll be $25 per person at Boys Republic. And as Jim mentioned, the food there is phenomenal. So you're going to get breakfast at Boys Republic. And then you'll hear from Jeff Baldessari, who was a past Entrepreneur of the Year for the Inland Empire. So our goal is to try to bring you the best kind of entrepreneurship speakers and trainers, and then build that room full of people that are in that same space as you all are. The other thing I wanted to highlight was, I'm going to stop sharing now, was lastly just, we have a board of directors. I mentioned we're going on our board retreat and it's happening next week. So we will be kind of over that assessment. And if you did fill out that survey, that we'll be going through that as an organization together to make sure we're doing the best for you. The others, and Jim was on our board of directors, so he has a good insight into that. Our ambassador team. So we have many ambassadors here today. One of the things that we will have at our first ambassador meeting is kind of some plans for our ambassador team in 2026. So I think we've got a good framework looking for that. So I'm excited about that first meeting. But we meet the second Tuesday of every month at the Chino Valley Chamber building here at 12 o'clock. So we hope to see, if you're interested in like what an ambassador is, how you can get more involved in the chamber in 2026, joining that ambassador committee would be a great way to do that. Nicole and Elizabeth from our team are here today. Elizabeth handles all of our marketing. So if you have any desire to send any marketing materials out, you would want to reach out to Elizabeth. And then Nicole does all that youth programming. So setting up all those career days and opportunities with Chaffey College and opportunities with other stuff. Nicole's going to be the one that you're going to want to connect on that front. And then I just want to thank our members for making 2025 a successful year. And I'm motivated and excited for 2026 because I think we have a good, strong plan to help build do even more and better support all of you and build stronger relationships and connections in 2026. So we're excited about that. And I just want to say thank you all for making it today virtually.